Bonsoir.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Vlogmas day 23. We're sorry we didn't vlog yesterday. Had some family things that we needed to deal with, and we just didn't have enough time to do anything. So we're back with you today for a very quick Vlogmas. But we just thought, as well as doing the advent calendar, we've had a busy day, but not anything really we'd want to vlog as such. We've, you know, been out shopping and done some bits and pieces and a lot of family stuff again today. But actually today is a very special day for this household, because 6 years ago today, this very day, our little Pablo became the newest member of our family. And so it's a very special day for us. We got him the day before Christmas Eve 6 years ago, and yeah, he's been the light of our lives ever since. He was a naughty little boy when we first got him, but a good little boy. But I'll tell you more about Pablo in a minute. I thought you might be interested.
I wouldn't recommend getting a puppy just before Christmas.
Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant wouldn't recommend getting Pablo.
That's one of my. That's got to be one of the worst decisions we ever made.
Yeah, not getting Pablo wasn't the worst decision we ever made, but the timing was was wrong, because it was
Christmas dinner, puppy poop.
Yeah, it was a very, very busy time, and he was quite needy when we first got him. But I'm going to tell you more about Pablo in a minute, and
Yeah,
some of the trials and tribulations that he's had, because he's been an unlucky little boy in lots of ways. But Gary wants to just do the advent calendar with you, and then I will take you on a little journey of Pablo's life so far. So here we go.
All 6 years of it.
Well, not all. The edited version.
Extremely late.
23, Gary. There.
Yeah, no, just a bit tangled up.
Tangled.
Yeah.
Since we went to see Mary Poppins on my birthday, Gary keeps quoting from it all the time, and I think he'd quite like. Our daughter's going back to see it tomorrow, and he keeps going, "Oh, I'd like to go back. I want to go back." So I think he was rather taken with that film. And actually, we've just watched. Well, I missed some of it, didn't I? Because I was a bit busy doing stuff. But Gary has just sat and watched Up, and you know, it's such a sad film in lots of ways. Very emotional roller coaster, that film. But yeah. So anyway, number 23 is
Doing.
sort of a
No, it's not too bad.
rose pink.
And a purpley
Yeah, that's
pink top.
quite
Very
nice.
shiny.
Oh, if you move it around, it's not going to focus.
You give me focus issues. I think it was focused here. Why is it not focusing?
I don't know. I don't understand this camera. Anyone got any clues on how to do stuff? Anyway, we won't bore you with ours of trying to focus it. Yeah, so that's that one.
There you go, it's focused.
Yeah, that's really far away.
Done.
Anyway, so there you go. That was number 23. So just 2 more to go. 2 more to go.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't do yesterday's. 22, because we didn't vlog. Oh my goodness. Just spotted that.
I'll go back in time then.
Yeah, just pretend it's yesterday.
Let's get myself a DeLorean.
Problem is now, because most of the doors are open, you can see through, and I can kind of see what we're going to get. You can't help but peep, because you can kind of see what's coming. Oh, you can't see Christmas Eve, but I can see Christmas Day. So,
Yeah.
oh, that's quite nice.
Yeah, stripy with a
Sort of a tiger effect.
bow tie.
Bow tie. It's not a bow tie, is it? It's a bow.
Bow.
So.
Oh, train's arriving.
Anyway.
Must be on Main Street again.
Right, so I will talk to you in a minute about Pablo. There he goes off and coughs. And yeah, we're still feeling a bit grotty, aren't we?
Yeah.
Still can't shake these coughs, and we're still feeling a little bit but
It's that Russian one, isn't it? Russian.
what, chesty cough.
Chesty cough, yeah.
Yeah, but yours is a dry cough. I'm the one with the
Chesty cough.
Russian.
This is chesty cough.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll say goodbye for now, and then I will tell you all about Pablo.
Au revoir.
So, 6 years ago today, Pablo came and became part of our family. And I've always had dogs growing up, and when we first got married we had a dog, but the girls always wanted a dog. But when they were little, we used to be going away a lot, travelling a lot and doing various things, and we didn't feel it was fair to have a dog and not be here for it as much as it would need. So as they got older and we decided the time was right, we decided to get a dog, but we thought we would keep it a surprise from them. And so Gary and I went out and we chose Pablo, and usually the girls always used to be able to open, we had a tradition that we always let them open one present on Christmas Eve. It's my phone again. We always used to let them open one present on Christmas Eve. So and usually it was a bauble for the tree, some pyjamas, that kind of thing. But we decided that we would wrap up a photograph of Pablo and a collar and a lead and a brush and that kind of thing, and put them in a box and wrap them up as their present to open. And because they didn't know, and because I didn't want them to find any photographs on my camera or on my laptop or anything like that, we took some photographs of Pablo when he was 5 weeks old when we went to view him, and then had them printed, one set of them printed, and then deleted them all. So they're very precious photos because I've got no hard copies of them because I didn't want anyone to find them and find out. So we went to get Pablo, and he is half Bichon Frise and half Cairn Terrier. And the lady we went to get him from, she had his grandmother, who was a black Cairn Terrier, his mother, who was a black Cairn Terrier. She also had his father, who was a white Bichon, and he was a second litter, and she'd kept one boy dog from the first litter. So she had his brother, who was sort of brown and white, patchy, and that was from the first litter. So Pablo was one of there was all girls and 2 boys in his litter, and the 2 boys he was sort of black and white, and the other one was sort of brown, black and white, and slightly chubbier. And we went along, and the lady was really lovely, and they lived in like a little small holding, and she had a special sort of big, almost like an outhouse which the dogs were in, and they had heat lamps and everything. But she was lovely because she made us stay and watch them feed and watch them play and everything. And Pablo was chewing on the other dog's ears and bouncing around and feeding really well. And we knew we wanted a boy dog. And so the lady picked up both and gave them to us, and literally Pablo fitted in the cup of my hand. He was tiny, and she gave us both of them to look at, and I instantly fell in love with Pablo. And I thought Gary was we took it in turns to hold the 2 boys, one each, and I thought Gary might go for his brother. And I said to Gary, "Oh, I really, which one do you like?" And he said, "Actually, it's hard to choose, but I think that one seems to just, I don't know, there's something about that one." And I said, "I'm so glad because that's the one I wanted." And it was Abigail who chose his name, Pablo Picasso. And yeah, so we decided to buy him. He was 5 weeks old, and so we put our deposit down on him and everything. And we'd arranged to go and pick him up the day before Christmas Eve. And he was just so tiny. It was about a 40-minute drive, and he was fantastic in the car and always has been. And the girls took it in turns to have him on their lap. When we first got him, he was a nightmare because he used to literally bite your ankles all the time with razor sharp teeth, and you literally was walking around with these dogs stuck to your ankles all the time. And he was cheeky, he was funny, he used to pinch everything, he could jump really high. I mean, we've gone through phases where our neighbours thought we were going mad with our washing. We've got a rotary washing line, and we used to have to peg all our washing in like a U shape, And they sort of said, why do you peg your washing like that? And it's because Pablo can jump really high, and he used to jump up and pinch all our washing off the line and run off around the garden with it. Would pinch your slippers, your shoes. And at one point I can remember Gary saying to me, what are we going to do in the summer? Because we actually all went out and bought slipper boots because he was chewing our ankles so much. But he's always been a character, and he's always been such, I mean, although he's a naughty boy at times, he's always been such a character. Yeah, Pablo was a very good boy, and my parents lived very close to us, and we had kind of almost like a dog share arrangement whereby if we ever went away, they were going to look after Pablo for us. My dad wanted to get another dog when our old dog died. Mum wasn't so keen because of the commitment. So we sort of said, oh, well, you can share Pablo with us. But I see my parents every day, and so Pablo, their home is as much his home as this one. So we've all had so much enjoyment from him, and I can honestly say he makes us smile every day. He's such a good boy. And we raw feed Pablo, and he has a food called Natural Instinct, and we'd been doing that since he was little. And my neighbour, who loves him, used to bring back presents for him whenever she went away, and she brought back some, what she thought was 3 plastic bones, and she gave them to him. And I went to make a drink, and I looked and saw that he'd run off with one of them. And I looked and I said, oh my God, what's he eating? And she said, oh, it's all right, it's a plastic bone. I said, oh no, he's eating it. But actually it was compressed wheat. And Pablo doesn't have any biscuits or anything like that. Everything he has is natural. And so I didn't think much of it, but just thought, that might upset his tummy a bit. And without having to be too graphic, within the next 24 hours, he was so very ill. And he had internal bleeding. We had to rush him to the vet. He ended up at our own vet's for 3 days whilst they tried to do tests and things on him. He relapsed, took a turn for the worst, and ended up in the Royal Veterinary College Hospital for a further 3 weeks. So almost a month he was in hospital. And after many, many tests and many sort of investigations and things, they discovered that he actually had an intolerance to sort of glutens and wheats, almost like a celiac. And we'd unwittingly been treating that by feeding him raw, and obviously never giving him anything that wasn't fresh and natural. You know, he has things like raw carrots, dehydrated sweet potatoes, things like that. But he'd never had anything unnatural. And so we didn't realise that we had actually been treating it without realising. So he was a very poorly boy, but we got him home and we nursed him back to health. Very scary time for us, and you would not believe how much you love these animals. And when something like that happens, it is dreadful. It's like they're like another child. And so yeah, so he was a toughie, and he got through that. And then last year, poor old Pablo ruptured his cruciate ligament and displaced his patella, and he ended up going up to the super vet. And he has had to have a big operation on his leg, on his back right leg. He now has a plate with 6 screws and a pin. He has no ligament anymore, and they cut the bone, they removed the ligament, they cut the bone and fused it together. And because of his intolerance to glutens and because of his oversensitive tummy, I mean, we have to be so cautious. We can't let him pick up crumbs, we can't let him, he's a bit of a scavenger, and we have to be really careful with things like that. But because of that, he couldn't have anti-inflammatories, which normally they would give after an operation. So poor old Pablo really did suffer, and it was quite pitiful. And we weren't allowed to, we were supposed to crate him for 6 weeks and not allow him to move around too much, but he was petrified. He wouldn't go in the crate, and he was really, really, I think because he was in so much pain, but we couldn't allow him to lay in the lounge and jump onto the sofa because he could obviously damage his leg. So I spent 3 weeks laying on the floor with him. just to make sure that he was okay. And it took a good 6 months before we were allowed to take him back out and so on. So he's been through the mill a bit in his 6 years, but we love him to pieces, and he is such a character. He's such a good boy and such a character. He is a good boy and he brings joy to our lives. So today is a special day for us for that reason, and we are very blessed to have our little Pablo. So there you go. So I will say goodbye for now. And anyway, we will see you tomorrow. I've now got to go and sort out some more cooking and do some bits ready for Christmas Eve, and generally get some Christmas things ready that I've been a bit behind with because we've been poorly. I haven't done all the things I normally do, so I've got to get on with them all now. I don't think they're all going to get done in time, but anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter and so on, and we will hopefully see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye.